Scrapbook. Hello there, and welcome once again to my Art Attack Scrapbook. Do you know what? I've been looking through my scrapbook, and it's amazing how many pieces of Italian art are in here. Well, like this one here. Take a look at that. That's the Mona Lisa, one of the most famous pieces of Italian art in the whole world. And do you know what I like best about this? The frame. That's Italian too, because believe it or not, it's made entirely out of pasta. Try this. Take the picture that you want to frame and just draw around it onto some cardboard. Now, the best cardboard for this is cardboard box cardboard. It doesn't have to be neat, just go around the edge of your picture, like that, so you have something that looks like that. And take a pasta shape. Now, there are lots of different types of pasta that you can get from the supermarket, and I'm going to take one of these bow shapes here and just put it on your line and mark the edge of the pasta, so you're sort of measuring the width of the pasta, and go all the way around the 4 lines, just making 2 dots like that, and then join those points up. Oh, I could have done with a bigger ruler for that. And go all the way around till you have a frame shape. And cut that out. Now, if you have difficulty cutting cardboard, just wet the lines with a little bit of water and it makes it easier to cut. And when you cut it out, you have something that looks like that. Look at that, a frame shape. And take a piece of paper and cut it so that it fits exactly on the back of your frame shape. But I'm not going to put it on just yet, just leave it to one side. And the next thing to do is take some PVA glue. This is my favourite glue, this is great stuff. It's the school glue, the white school glue that you get in those big squidgy bottles, and just slop it onto your cardboard shape nice and thickly. Look at that. I'm just going to do one side just to show you what I'm doing. Make the glue really thick. I'm just loading it up there. That's it, and a bit more on this edge. You can go all the way around your cardboard. And then take one of your pasta shapes and just carefully press it into position in the glue, and then another one, and line that up underneath the first one, and then just keep going all the way around your cardboard frame, pressing the pasta shapes one underneath the other into the glue. And when you've gone all the way around, leave it to dry overnight, and next morning you will have something that looks like that. Look at that. Your frame is beginning to take shape. And then you can paint it. Paint it any colour you like if you use poster paint or even acrylic paint. And when you've painted it, if you leave it to dry, you can slop on a layer of PVA glue afterwards, and it gives it that great shiny effect. Then just take your backing paper and your original picture, and I'm just going to put a line of glue on the top of your picture. This is the best way to frame a picture, just a line of glue along the top there, so that you don't have to cover the whole of the back of the picture. Because if you want to reframe it, you can always take it out then. That's it, press that on, and then some glue all the way around the edge of the backing paper. Again, I'm just doing this really quickly to show you, but you can take some time and care over it. That's it. And then it's simply a case of pressing your pasta frame into place. There it is, just line it up, and there you have a pasta framed picture. And there are loads of different types of pasta you can use. And look at this. You can paint them any colour you like. You can do them any size you like. And you can make them as fancy as you like. Try it yourself. Pasta frames.
Hello, Head here. They were one of the most mouth-watering art attacks of all time. And here's how you make one of those fantastic pasta frames. First, just find a picture that you want to frame and draw around it onto some card. Mark the width of the frame with a piece of pasta. Next, cut out the frame and stick your pasta shapes into position using PVA glue. When they're firmly set in place, paint it any colour you like and let it dry. You can coat it with a layer of PVA glue to make it nice and shiny if you want. And then it's just a case of framing your picture. Oh, delicious! Mamma mia!
It's back again. Dinosaur mania. It's absolutely everywhere, isn't it? The truth is, you know, it's always around. In fact, I was looking through my scrapbook and even I got into it not so long ago. Look at this.
Was wonderful! Now don't you go playing around in quarries, as they can be very dangerous places. Hey, being a world expert on dinosaurs, I can categorically say that the one he made is called I don't know what it's called, Asaurus.
You know, I really like using things in the wrong way. Well, like that pasta to make the frames. And there's something else I've found in my scrapbook that I used in a way that it wasn't really meant to be used. This stuff, sticky back plastic. Now, you normally use it to back things. I use it to make pictures. Have a look at this. Take a piece of paper, any size you like, and cut a piece of sticky back plastic, still with the backing on, so that it's roughly 1 centimetre wider than your paper on all edges. Then remove your paper, turn your sticky back plastic shiny side up, and I've discovered you can draw on it using a permanent marker. Now, it has to be a permanent marker, otherwise it will just rub off. And just draw a rough picture, anything you like. I'm just going to draw a very rough picture here of some fruit. Draw an orange in there, and I think we'll have a lemon in this corner. Now again, it's not perfection we're looking for here. It's a style. So I think I'll do some stylised bananas there, one there, and maybe one coming round here, like that. And maybe in this corner, some grapes. Just a very small bunch of grapes there. And dominating right in the middle here, with some knobbly flesh, a pineapple. And I'll just draw all those marks it has on its flesh there. It's like a pattern, isn't it? Again, just doing a very rough picture. I think just to balance the picture up, I'll put 2 cherries in the corner. When you've done your picture, just peel back one of the corners here, and this is where we get our own back on sticky back plastic. Turn it over, now shiny side down, hold it onto a flat surface, and then slowly peel back the backing. And with a bit of luck, yep, the sticky back plastic sucks itself to the flat surface, and there it is. Now look, don't let the sticky back plastic get you at this stage, because it's sticky side up now. I'm going to colour it in using scrap paper, coloured newspaper or magazines, or even tissue paper. Now let's see, I have some green there for the apple. And again, you don't have to colour it in perfectly. I'm just going to do that corner in there, because it's a style I'm looking for. I'll put the orange in there, I think, for the orange. And then that for the lemon. And let's see, I want a nice bendy bit for the banana. Maybe that up there. That's probably better for it, isn't it? And you've got a little gap down there, so just cover all the gaps with your coloured paper. A bit in the back there for the pineapple. The pineapple stalk there. And this fabulous sort of purple colour for the grapes. And 2 little bits of red for the cherries. Just being careful all the time not to pick up the sticky back plastic. Then put your original piece of paper back in place, very carefully. It could still go dreadfully wrong at this stage. And then just carefully fold up any excess sticky back plastic onto the back. Down one edge, down the other edge, all the way around. I think we've cracked it. There it is, a sticky back plastic picture. So there you go. You don't always have to use things in the way that they were meant to be used originally. Sometimes it really does pay to experiment. Who'd have thought it, eh? Sticky back plastic pictures, and they're framed with frames made out of pasta.
Brilliant! Experiment with your artwork. It can be great fun. Now, there were 2 things to remember when it comes to making pictures from sticky back plastic. First, when you're peeling off the backing, lay it on something flat. And secondly, make sure that you end up drawing on the non-sticky side. Otherwise, it could end up the way mine did. Sad, isn't it?
Hello, my name is Charlotte and I've done a chalk picture of a vase of flowers and a bowl of fruit. I've used my fingers to smudge the chalk to make a nice effect. My name's Anne and I did a picture of a clown using chalks. I used purple and blue for the face and green for the eyes.
Hello, my name's Victoria and I've done a picture of a winter's tale. I've used white chalk and I've smudged it to get a snowy effect.
Ah, another good Art Attack idea from the classroom. Smudging. And let's face it, there's loads of this stuff around the classroom. Chalk. Watch this. Smear some chalk onto a piece of paper, onto the side of the paper, And then take some cotton wool and just smear the chalk over the edge of the paper onto a piece of black paper. And you sort of billow it up into this cloud effect. And when you take the paper away, you have that very strong line there. And you can just take the cotton wool and start to dab the chalk to create like a cloud effect. And then you can create another cloud effect by using the side of a piece of chalk. Just lay the chalk on its side and do very light strokes in a sort of, well, it's a sort of upside down U shape I'm using here. And just to pick out the edges of some of the top clouds there with highlights, just use the sharp end of the chalk. Another effect you can use with chalk is to smear it with your finger. It just gives it this very different texture, very sort of atmospheric, moody texture. Looks almost like some moonlight. Now, one of my favourite effects that you can get with chalk is drawing into it with a rubber. Watch this. You can make some very light lines with the rubber. Just lightly drawing in my picture. And you can get some very bold lines just by pressing down hard with the rubber in there. And just rubbing really hard with it and rubbing out the chalk from your picture. It's almost a takeaway picture, this, isn't it? You're taking the chalk away. And watch this. Some real fine detail now. Just pressing really hard on the rubber. Taking the chalk away. This is the good bit. You take the sharp edge of the chalk and put in some more highlights. And I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to smear the chalk across. So you've got that highlight on the edge of the dome where the moon is shining. You've got the shadow right round the back of the dome. In fact, what I'll do is I'll bring in a piece of paper I had before, lay that in there, and watch this. And there it is, a chalk effect picture. Well, that's it from my Art Attack scrapbook for today, but just before I go, take a look at this and see if you can guess what it was I was doing. So what do you think I was up to then? Well, I was using this stuff, rice, and you only need a little bit to make pictures with. You just move it about with your finger. So, okay, see if you can guess what big picture I was doing, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra!